Good morning, guys, and welcome to my Budapest adventure. And today we're gonna see some sights, of course. Budapest. I just arrived by subway on the West Railroad station of Budapest, and from here I'm actually gonna take a bus to the hostel. And first I have to find said bus. Now I know I said that I would take a bus towards my hostel, but then I found out that a walk along the Danube River is actually possible from within walking distance of Budapest's West Railway station. So I went over there as it is on my way towards the hostel anyway, because the hostel is on this very island in the center of Budapest I'm walking on right now. And on this very island you can actually see many people jogging, working out. It's really a healthy lifestyle people may seem to have here, as I see many people working out, jogging, mountain biking. Gives me a healthy and good vibe already. Let's see what the rest of Budapest can bring us. Now this lovely view is not from a lookout point, it's actually from the balcony of the hostel that I'm staying in. And this hostel I'm staying in is actually on this very island in the center of Budapest. And all the great sights are within the vicinity actually. It's not that far away. Now we're actually looking over the Danube River. Something that you guys may have known, but I didn't, is that the Danube is actually the second longest river in Europe or in the world, and that it passes through many countries. Let's see what the day will bring, guys. Now this hostel has really the luxury atmosphere that you wouldn't expect for the price that you pay. It's actually very cheap and affordable. And if you want to stay at the same hostel as I do, make sure to click the link in the description below. I will leave you guys a link from the website where I found this hostel, this Airbnb. So whenever you come to Budapest, you can have the same experience. If you're going to visit Budapest and plan to use the public transportation a lot, make sure you buy one of these bad boys. This is a 72-hour travel card. It's valid for 72 hours, just as the name implies. And you'll be able to use the public transportation, tram, metro, subway, bus, all that you want from Unlimited, and it's only 4,150 forint. Now I'm gonna abuse this one right away to head over to my first site, which was a hard pick because there's so much to see here in Budapest. But for those who know me, know that I love castles. So first stop, Buda Castle. One of the public transport I used the most in Budapest was the subway, as they have a great connection throughout most of the places scattered in this big capital city. The subway took me to this place called Deep Veron Square, a square named after a Hungarian statesman and Minister of Justice. From there, I took bus 105 to Buda Castle, and we are going up through that over there, the Funicular. Before I go up, I would like to mention this beautiful chain bridge that's connecting Buda with Pest. Yes, I didn't know before I came to Budapest either, but Budapest is a collection name of two places separated by the Danube River, Buda and Pest. Behind us, on the west side of the Danube River, is Buda, recognizable by its hilly area. On the other side, on the east side of the Danube River, is flat Pest. We're crossing the chain bridge to Buda to see the Buda castle and go up to the Funicular. Now guys, this is actually a moment that goes back in history because I've never ridden a funicular before. I'm so excited that I just can't sit down. I really need to enjoy the view. My first ride in a funicular. How cool is this? Now from the top funicular station you actually have a much more scenic, beautiful view of Pest. Buda Castle is the historical castle and palace complex of the Hungarian kings in Budapest. It was first completed in 1265, but the massive Baroque palace today occupying most of the site was built between 1749 and 1769. The complex in the past was referred to as either the Royal Palace or the Royal Castle. Buda Castle sits on the south tip of Castle Hill, bounded on the north by what is known as the Castle District, which is famous for medieval, Baroque and 19th century houses, churches and public buildings. The hill is linked to Clark Adams Square and the Széchenyi Chain Bridge by the Castle Hill Funicular. The castle is a part of the Budapest World Heritage Site, so declared in 1987. Now when I walked in here, I didn't imagine it was so huge. There's so much to see here. I'm skipping all the museums, however, but you know, with all these corridors and all these hungry nights, I wonder if there's any food to be found in here. Now walking through these ancient corridors makes you sometimes feel like you're walking straight through a Harry Potter movie. The Budapest History Museum is located in the southern wing of Buda Castle in Building E over 4 floors. It represents the history of Budapest from its beginnings until the modern era. The restored part of the medieval castle, including the royal chapel and the rib-vaulted Gothic hall, belongs to the exhibition. The highlights of the exhibition are the Gothic statues of Buda Castle and the 14th century silk tapestry decorated with the Angevin coats of arms. Small gardens were recreated in the medieval swingers around the oldest parts of the building. Found me some food in the courtyard in front of the castle. A lovely hot dog, some hot chocolate. Bon appetit. I don't know how they say that here in Hungary. castle there's a labyrinth, and it's said that in this big maze, Vlad Tepes, better known as Dracula, the guy that I talked about in my previous videos, was actually once imprisoned here. Let's get lost. Some rooms are so dark and spooky. Some even play creepy music. Make sure to follow these bad boys. Now I don't know if you can see it, but behind me there's actually a corridor that goes into the maze of darkness. Now, I'm not a scary type, but I'm not going in there. Because I might not come out again. Ugh, it's giving me chills. Now some of these rooms are actually filled with smoke, and you can't see like your hand in front of your face, and it's really scary down here, to be very honest. Some rooms are so dark, they're like pitch black dark, and sometimes I have to take out my phone and use the torch just to see something. Everything here can actually scare you, you know that? Behind me, just a drip of water fell down. It's the sound of that drip hitting the floor scared me to death. Like, I was like, what was that? Not for the faint-hearted, this attraction. Toilet. No thanks, I already shat myself. I've never been so glad to see daylight again. Now guys, that attraction is definitely not for the faint-hearted, I can assure you, because everything in there might scare you. And they're not really doing their best to scare you, like they just make dark rooms and they're full of smoke. So I thought I'd be a smartass and use the torch on my phone to make some light, but because of the smoke you still don't see what's ahead. So you're really feeling like this, walking like that, and in the labyrinth I don't like that, because I'd like to come out and see daylight again. I love the daylight. Now, the next sightseeing will be St. Matthias Church, which is just around the corner. Church, a site by itself. I'm not going inside, but admiring it from the exterior. But if you have the time, you can do that as well. It is a beautiful architectural church with a well-designed and shaped roof. Stop to relax and enjoy the beautiful scenery. Now you guys must have been wondering, Nando, why do you carry along your backpack? Why didn't you just leave your stuff at the hostel and explore Budapest from that point on? I did. I left most of my stuff at the hostel, but I needed a backpack to carry my swimming stuff in. Yes, people, we're going to swim into the Sikló thermal baths. Those are right behind me. Let's go. 5,700 forint, and you get a cabinet in which you can leave your stuff. And this thing, I have it, and it grants me to the pools. Now let's see. Now it's not a vacation if we don't go for a swim. Let's take a dive. These are thermal baths. You don't have to be scared of cold temperatures if you're going here in winter, which is possible, by the way. Now, one of the things I definitely like about this place is that it's perfectly acceptable to have a beer at the pool. And I'm having a Borsodi, local brewery. Approved. Nando says it's okay. Or is how they call my name here, which is Hungarian, Nándor. So now you guys also know how to pronounce that. Now just a short walking distance from Sikló Baths lies the Vajdahunyad Castle, a site that I of course had to see. Now, if there's one thing this castle stands for, then it's for the evolution of the Hungarian architecture. Now, this castle was actually built in 1896. And just right around the corner of Vajdahunyad Castle is Hero Square, with the 7 chieftains of Magyar. Now, Hero Square is said to be the biggest square in Budapest. And in the middle of it there's a tomb, and they call it the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier. No idea why. I guess that mystery stays unknown. The sun has already set behind the Buda hills, and that means that the nightlife starts to be awakened here in Budapest. And I'm gonna explore some of it. And I've heard that you can have quite the experience going out here in Budapest, as there are around town so-called ruin bars. Now, ruin bars are, as the name might imply, bars that are put into an abandoned building, an abandoned ruined building. And it promises to be quite an alternative experience. So let's see. Quite the artistic place. I like it. Cheers, guys. To Budapest nightlife. I'm done partying. Back to the hostel. First of all, I'm gonna have a lovely breakfast because I'm quite hungry. No? Okay, well, let's go. Now, one of the most praised cafes here in Budapest is the New York Cafe, and I'm gonna show you why. I don't know if it's the high praise one, but it's definitely the most beautiful one. I'm having a simple cheesecake with jam breakfast and a hot coffee. Luxury lifestyle 2.0. Bon appetit. Now that is a breakfast to die for. Now after that breakfast I feel energized enough to see more of Budapest. Let's see some sights, here we go. Once you think walking the stairs of St. Stephen's Basilica's central chapel was already hard, try to do it with a heavy backpack. My stamina is not built up for this. What did I do for you guys? What did I do for you? My legs are burning. I almost fainted because those were long stairs. And once you think we're already up, no, somewhere here there are more stairs going up. They do have an elevator. It's out of order, of course. Found them! We've reached the top. Well, it goes higher, but the lookout point is just behind this door. Now let's see if all those stairs are worth the view. Definitely. That's enough exercise for me for today. Now, just a few more views I can visit before it's time to get on to my next destination. So let's see how much views we can milk out of this city in the time that we have. Now guys, you can definitely not visit Budapest without a glimpse of the Hungarian Parliament building. Now, I can't believe I didn't take a glimpse of this building before, as my hostel is so close to it. And catching a glimpse of the Parliament building is not that hard, as there are several vantage points in Budapest from where you can see this magnificent building. Now, I can't go in because it's part of a guided tour to get inside and you need to book in advance. So we're just gonna admire its exterior. shot by fastest ever cross during the Second World War. And it's created by a film director. I believe it was Ken Toge. Put it up there. Quite a way to memorize people. Very nice. Kég Rosa translates into blue rose. The restaurant, it says typical Hungarian restaurant where I'm gonna have my lunch. I'm having a goulash soup as lunch, a typical Hungarian treat. Let's try it out. Oh my god, it's really good. It's not even spicy, it's just... Wow. This stuff is really good. I can recommend. It's really like a stew. Lovely meat. Delicious meat. What can I say? I'm a food lover. Potatoes, meat, vegetables, goulash, and now I'm just happy. Guys, that was Budapest. I'm just as sad to leave you behind as you are, but if you enjoyed your stay just as much as I did, make sure to leave a like. My next destination will possibly be just as exciting, and if you want to be notified about it, then make sure you subscribe. Now, there were definitely more things that I would like to see here in Budapest, but I didn't have the time for that, so I might have to come back for those. If you want to know when I'm going back to Budapest to visit those places, make sure you subscribe so you get notified. Guys, thank you all so much for staying in Budapest with me, and I will see you all at the next destination. Take care.